Welcome to the Love We Share for Entrepreneurship-Podcast, where we dive deep into topics around business strategy, female empowerment, and entrepreneurship education. We do this by sharing real stories, lessons learned, and useful tools that can help you follow your entrepreneurial path, make you smarter, and enable you to be more innovative. My name is Michéle Tille, and I'm happy to be your host for this podcast. Thank you for listening and watching. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my content, as it will help a great deal of spreading the message. Welcome to the Love We Share for Entrepreneurship podcast and the next founder story that we are recording today with Michéle Tille, one of the founders of Synio, a startup from Bitterfeld-Wolfen, which is close to Leipzig, located in the east of Germany. And your business has the vision of creating a more sustainable chemical industry. And that's quite a big vision to have. You are doing this by producing specialized and scarcely available isocyanates for the specialty chemicals and R&D sector and the industry. And you've been working on this with your two co-founders, Marlene Baumhardt in the role as CPO, Sophie Riedel as COO, and you as the CEO since January 2024. And you've recently secured funding and onboarded your first 9 employees. Congratulations, and what an exciting time for you and your team.
Yeah, thank you, Mareike. It's been really an exciting time for us.
Yeah, most definitely. That sounds like it. We're going to get to that a bit more in a short space of time. Just a story of how we met. We both attended the Entrepreneurship Summit in Berlin in October last year. And even though we unfortunately missed seeing each other on site and meet in person, we made use of the pinboard that the organizers provided, where you could actually add a little note and say that what are you offering? What are you searching for? And I definitely left those the quick note of saying that I'm looking for female founders who are curious to be on my podcast. And you reached out to me via LinkedIn. Thank you so much for your proactivity and showing up to record this episode today.
Yeah, thank you, Mareike, as well. I'm happy to be here, and I was happy to see your pin on the pin board. And I didn't thought about for a long time. I was just, okay, I have to be part of it. And then now we are sitting here. That's cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how has your August been thus far?
Really, really crazy. Since August, our employees started working for our company Synio. We prepared a lot in July, but August is really kind of mess, but also super cool, super exciting. We have a lot of things to do to organize in parallel, but it has been fun so far. The first onboarding week is over. Now our employees are starting more and more working in their teams, and yeah, it's going great.
And you literally onboarded like these 9 people at the same time, like in
Yes,
August?
yes, we did.
Oh wow, that's very, very exciting. And I mean, it's still a lot of time to come for them to get used to the new environment and also get to know each other, I guess, and also for you to get to know your team members a bit
Yeah,
more
right.
than just having the interview right done with them. Yeah, awesome. And I would like to start by you telling me a bit more about your business and maybe also how you found your co-founders, because we haven't really been chatting a lot about that, so I'm quite curious to find out.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'm doing this. We are dealing with chemicals, as you already introduced. We are producing isocyanates, and these are chemical building blocks. And basically, you use these chemicals to build various end products, and they influence the properties. So they innovate end products. For example, they make materials heat resistant. The mattress you woke up today, for example, really soft, but also they make surfaces water repellent. So they have many applications and add several properties to the end products. And the main problem with that is that basically they are still produced with using a highly toxic gas called phosgene. And we are using CO2 to build our isocyanates. And this gives us the advantage that we are really focusing on niche isocyanates for niche industries. So we are creating the really specific chemical building blocks, which the big corporate companies are not focusing on. So basically, that's what we are doing. And I have found my co-founder Marlene on a female founders event. We met several years ago. During this time, I was in another, or I was building another company with my former business partner, and she was looking for business partners or co-founders to found, Sunyo actually. And we just talked, and I found her really sympathetic. But at that time, as I already mentioned, I was building another company. But a couple of years later, accidentally, we met online. I saw from our course university startup network that she was looking for a co-founder still. And I was writing to her, so I reached out and I said, "Hey, that sounds interesting. Let's talk." We actually talked. She also informed me that she already gave up, to be honest, because as a scientist, it's kind of hard to like start a company in chemistry, for example. Many colleagues of her, they gave her the advice to just go into the industry, gain some experiences. But she was still with her heart thinking on Sanyo. We talked and we decided to start. And then we started. We were looking for other co-founders. We met our fantastic co-founder, Sophie Riedel. We included her in the team. And then everything was growing organically bigger and bigger. So this is the story behind it, where we met and how it started.
Awesome. Sometimes it's just about, the right people meeting at the right time. And I mean, you met twice, so that was a sign that you should actually get to talk. And I'm so glad you found each other as a team. That's amazing. And you previously mentioned to me that there's quite a few products and industries that could make use of your new chemical that is more sustainable. So could you mention a few products or a few spaces where you would like to venture into?
Yes, as mentioned, this is like a really wide field, and this is also like kind of hard for us at the beginning, where we position ourselves as a company. But for example, you use these isocyanates in the pharmaceutical industry, in the painting or coating industry, but also in the plant protection industry. So many applications. Our customers at the moment are more based in the R&D sector, because they are just needing a few grams, and that's what we can deliver at the moment. We are delivering from grams to kilograms this year. Of course, if you're looking for industrial applications, then you have to deliver tons. So this is something where we will grow organically, I think. But at the moment, this customer section is like the best starting point for us.
And it's quite exciting because you probably have to see like what comes first and where it then goes into, and then for you to make a decision, is it like a client that we would want to work with? And so I think that I can already see that there's so many potential markets that you could tap into with what you're doing. So that's a super great idea, and I'm glad you followed along and you're working on it, and you also like want people to actually give you funding to start. Before we go into the business itself and like the nitty gritty of how it all came about, I would like to go a bit deeper into your own career aspirations and your entrepreneurial journey. So let's go back in time a bit. Growing up, what did you want to become?
Yeah, this is a tough question for me because, to be honest, it always changed, and this is something which is also something in my career. So I was always doing some other things, or I was always looking for new challenges, for new things to do. But the last year, before I graduated from high school, I wanted to become a dentist. As you see, this never happened, but this was like the last dream I had when I was graduating from high school.
And then you previously did quite a few other type of jobs as well. Maybe you can just take us a bit through that, through some of the stations that you did, and also like looking at what you learned in those, like in those jobs that actually now help you on your entrepreneurial journey.
Sure. I was studying something with media, and in this background, I was going also for or I was going 1 year abroad to Finland in my studies. and I get to know their entrepreneurship even better. So this was the first point of contact. And they had a really beautiful lab for founders, for entrepreneurs, for companies, for startups. And I was really into, and I really liked the atmosphere there. And this was my first touch point. After that, I decided to come back and do nothing with media. But I wanted to do something with entrepreneurship. That's why I took a master's degree in entrepreneurship and innovation. And after that, I was working in consultancy companies. I was working in startup acceleration hubs. So kind of same things, but also with different focus topics. And I really enjoyed being in different environments, working for different industries. I made also some internships in big corporate companies, for example. But then I just figured out for myself that I really like to be in the startup environment and I want to build something from the scratch. So this is kind of my biggest learning, that I'm not fitting into a corporate role, but I really want to have the space to create my own room or my own space where I can contribute to a bigger success. This is like something for me, and this is the biggest learning I have through my career so far.
Nice. And now, did you have a point in time where you knew that the entrepreneurial path was meant for you? Like, did you come up, or was the Finland experience actually the starting point for you, and the experiences that you've made being abroad, which is actually also literally like nice place to be, because Finland has such a great startup ecosystem as well. So they help founders quite a bit in getting like started and starting their journey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it all started at this point because I really saw what is possible, and I also was self-confident enough to say to myself, okay, other people are doing this actually. Why you shouldn't? You are like also a person, and why you couldn't believe in yourself that you are also making it. So I was like, okay, I will make it. I want to do it. And this was the starting point. And from there, this is also the third company I'm building at the moment. So this is like yeah, something I really like. Actually, I forgot to mention this. This was one of the most important experiences so far. I also founded two other companies. I missed it, sorry, in the other question. This was something between, but this, I just love it to build something from the scratch. Yeah.
And I mean, you tried again, like, I mean, or are the companies that you've started, like, are they still existing? Did you give them in other hands, or was it just a learning experience where you said, okay, let me try this with this person? Because there's often like a lot of reasons why things couldn't work out, but tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. The two other companies, they are not existing anymore. The first company, I started doing my master's degree with two other colleagues. And after our studies, we all decided to move back to our home cities. And this was not possible to organize, like to have a company and everyone is sitting somewhere else, because this was also focused on smart home industry, on like sales in the smart home industry. So this was something you could also have done it online, but at this point we decided to just close it because it was too complicated for us. And the second company was something in the consulting industry, and we made coaching material for business life, for day-to-day business. So we developed some games for meetings and other things, some support material for creativity techniques. So this was a physical product. I did it with my co-founder, and this also was a good learning curve or experience for me as well. Um, we decided at some point that we have different visions, and that was also totally fine. So we also decided to close this. And this is now the third time with Sunyo, and now it's also the biggest one, actually the biggest company I've ever started, and also in a totally different environment. So chemistry was also very new to me. When Marlene explained me what to do, I did not really get the idea or the chemistry behind it. I just knew that I wanted to be part of it.
And that's a cool thing about entrepreneurship, because you don't have to necessarily have such an insight into the market that you're venturing into, because you have different roles and you have a team and they are so much into it. So you don't have to necessarily like know it all, but get into it and learn and gather the knowledge. And when we first met, I had the impression that you could totally speak about this, since you have been working on this also for 2 years, being with your co-founder. So that's great. And is there a specific story behind the name of your business? How it came about, what it means? I mean, I guess it stands for what you're doing, but what is it all about? How did it come about?
Yeah, I think it's not such an interesting story. We just made an appointment and said, okay, we need a cool name. Before Sunyo, it was called ISOSIL, and this was like a research project title, because our process and our technology was invented at the Technical University Bergakademie Freiberg, and this was like a name we couldn't dealt with it. So we decided to came up with another name. And in the meeting, we were just thinking about, Marlene said her wish is that she wants something you can associate with isocyanate. And that's why we took the from cyanate, like cyanio. And this is like the story behind it. So it was a really fast decision. Okay, we want something which is quite near to isocyanate. And then we came up with cyanio.
And it was still available, because that's always what you have to check when you
Yeah,
register.
it was still available, and we are really happy. We have some problems with the name, because some people, they do not really know how to pronounce it. But otherwise, we are really happy with our name.
Yeah. And that's something to establish, I guess. So you can't always have a name that everyone can pronounce, because we
Yeah,
also have so many different languages on this earth. So I'm sure there's going to be a group that can definitely pronounce it perfectly. And then others might be, okay, I haven't really seen this. But it also makes someone curious, like, what does it actually stand for? What is it all about? And it's great that it can connect to what you're actually doing. And what motivated you as a team to kind of see the big vision behind Senior and then follow along? So, like, what made you to consider that actually we want to grow this as big as it can be?
yeah. Um, for me, as a business person doing my studies at university in my master's degree, I was always pushed to like being the business person in a startup team. So this was like a really focused master's degree um, on how to start a company or run a company. So me as a business person, of course, I'm always looking for good opportunities, for good business cases. So I would say I have another motivation than probably Marlene and Sophie has, because Marlene, for example, she was involved in the university research, and she was one person who really contributed to the patents and to the technology. And for her, it was just sad to imagine that these patents will not be used or will not be used to like form a product into the market. So for her, it was like a really purpose-driven motivation that she said, I have contributed to this, and this is a good technology, and I do not want to leave it in the under the table or whatever. So she really wanted to bring this to market. And for Sophia, I think also the motivation was that she really wanted to contribute to this great spirit Marlene brings also in, and also she's now leading the production team at Sunyo, so she can really also explore a lot of opportunities. So this is also like for a chemist a really good thing, that you have a blank sheet, and you can start from every side. So this also makes fun, but it's also really challenging. Um, but for me, I really get a lot of energy from like running a startup. So for some people, it's like frustrating. I mean, we also have really frustrating moments. We also have like failures and all these things, and we have to deal with it. But in total, running a startup or Sunyo gives me so much energy. And this is like the highest motivation I have, that at the end of the day, I'm a really happy person. I'm really grateful for all the experience. And this is just crazy. And I really love the feeling I have. So this is my motivation behind it.
Nice. And I mean, on your LinkedIn profile says you're natural problem solvers. And as natural problem solvers, we just see that if there's something we can fix, we'll find a way, no matter how long it takes, no matter who we have to ask. But there's always going to be a way of, getting it fixed, I guess. And would you like to share a bit more about your everyday work life? So is there specific things that you do on a regular basis? How does it look like at the moment?
Yeah. Um, it, I really would like to be a better role model regarding this matter, because to be honest, my working day is not a good it's really not structured at the moment. I do not have fixed working hours. I do whatever I have to do. I do not have regular working hours. I do not have a lot of regular meetings. I mean, we have our founders show fix. We have a weekly team breakfast where we inform the team about updates. I have show fix with other team members, for example, with the sales department and other people as well. But every day is kind of different, because we are getting new challenges every day. And when you fix one problem, then instantly the next problem came up or comes up. And then you are dealing with this problem. You have new challenges, you have new appointments, you have new structure of the day. So there are days where I have a lot of meetings. There are also days where I block some hours for focus time. We also blocked some time for strategy and vision times. We as founders, we are also doing regular founder offsites that we take a couple of days to just focus on the vision and vision. But this is not a day-to-day or like a daily business day for us. So it really differ a lot. But what I can say the last couple of months is that for me, every weekday is a Monday. So the last couple of weekends, they were not really existing for me. But this is fine during this point. But I think I have to also like finding a good balance between like work-life balance for me as a founder as well, because so many tasks to do, and the to-do list really controls my life at the moment.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I mean, it's an exciting time knowing that you have so many more people now on the team. It's not just the three of you. So I guess it's also being in demand, because you are the decision maker at the end of the day, unless you kind of create structures where all the departments have their own ways of making decisions. And lots of founders, they forget that they should try and shift from that role of working in the business and more on the business, which is quite a big shift. And I think some say that when there's a certain number of team members, which is usually around 20 or even higher, then it also shifts once again. So you're not there yet, but maybe in future you might be, because this is just a starting point, I guess, for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, we have big plans, and we are really self-confident that we achieve our plans, and we will, of course, grow as well.
Is there like one of the bigger milestones that you feel you would be super happy that you are gonna achieve that as a team? Like, is there something that you feel closely connected to, and a milestone that you personally feel you want to reach this in the next 2, 3 years?
Yeah, of course, I think for us it is really challenging to also overcome the point seen as a R&D supplier to becoming an industrial supplier. So because of the scale, because at the moment we are producing like grams to kilograms, but of course we want also to scale our technology, and this is like really challenging for us, like on the technology side as well, but also on the market side, because new markets we have to like also, yeah, there's like the big challenge is also that we are in startup, we are really innovative, we have a new process, but on the other side we also want that customers trust our technology, that they trust that we know what we are doing. But to be honest, actually at some point in the startup, you have no idea what you are doing at the moment. I mean, you have the vision and you have the plan, but there are some situations where you are also like dealing with it for the first time. So to be honest, sometimes it's also challenging for us as founders or as a team to like overcome this point. I'm confident that we will do it, but this is a milestone I'm really looking for when we achieve the market position, that we also get bigger customers, industrial customers, including our products in their end products. But this comes with a lot of trust, and therefore we also really have to have the experiences to deliver really good and qualitative products.
Yeah, I'm sure you will achieve that. I wish you all the best for that. And what's the biggest learning curve you've had so far in the business?
For me, as I'm always like taking the perspective as a founder, and for me as a founder, as I already mentioned, I started 3 companies. For me, the most important learning is that the co-founder is so important. And I mean, you are hearing it all the time that people or mentors, coaches are saying, consider that this is the person you have to work a long time with, and you really have to be picky. But if you are in the position, then you really, you really get to know that this is real. I mean, you can hire some employees. In case it's not working, you can fire them. But with the co-founders, you have a long story together. You are in the contracts together, and you want to contribute to your vision and to your goals together. And I'm so lucky now that really I have found Marlene and Sophie, because I have the feeling that we really make the difference together. We are all different. In some points, we have the same opinions. In some other points, we have totally different perspectives. And this is something which is really good, like having the diversity, also like dealing with conflicts in the founder team, discussions, but being really productive, and also like in the end, that we are all one team, like coming up and working together. This is the most important, that the co-founders, that they have a good match. For me, this is the biggest learning.
And what would you advise to those who are still searching for their co-founders, for their best match?
Yeah, this is really tough question, and I do not really have an advice, because I have searching for a team 3 times now, and this was like, for me, it was just like I was on an event at the right time that I met
Go to
Marlene.
events.
This was like the thing for me, but probably this is also working for others, like looking for where events you can attend, where are people probably who might have the same vision for a career as you might have. And I do not really have a good advice, but this was the way it was working for us at the moment. But I know it's really, really hard. And I'm still waiting for Tinder for co-founders. So if there is someone outside who want to implement like a app or something, it would really great. I talk to a lot of people. There are so many people who are looking for something like this, because it's so hard to find the right co-founder. And a lot of ideas die because people are not finding the right co-founder. For example, Marlene, she was like not finding someone from the business side. No one wanted to join this project. This is really sad. If we haven't met, so probably Sunyo wouldn't exist, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hectic, because sometimes it's these moments that matter for business to actually evolve and even be started, be continued. I know that there's lots of work that is being done by a few people that have had this challenge and they wanted to solve it. I kind of see that maybe there hasn't been like an actual working business model found for specific co-founder matching platforms, services, and a lot of accelerators and hubs already trying to implement that for themselves. And I know that the Gründer platform has recently implemented a co-founder matching tool, which
Wow.
is on the website. But now I think they have to also gain experience in how it works and if it can really bring the right people together. And there's a team that has been working on it that I met through an online community. So they have been working on this for a couple of years, trying to implement the process of co-founder matching. So in case there's someone out there, just try it out. Co-founder matching, Gründer platform, you'll find it. I can also link it in the description of this episode. And I'm also very glad that now people are working on it and it's coming. So let's talk about money and access to finance, because that's a big one, especially in the industry that is quite money intense. Now that you're an entrepreneur, what's your relationship with money? Has it changed over time?
I think it hasn't really changed. So I was grown up in a family with less money. So this was it was just me, my mom, and my brother, and this was like also a tough time for us when I was a child. So we never had a lot of money in my family actually. And this never changed for me. Also doing my studies, I got student loans, I did part-time jobs, I did whatever I had to do to pay my bills. Also during high school, I ever had a second job after my school, so I could save some money. But in the end, it's not making me happy to have a lot of money. This is not my relationship to money, or this is not my goal. But my goal is to invest this money in my education. So I always invested it in my education or in my businesses. So, for example, during my studies, I invested some money in my first business. During my second experience in starting a company, I invested even more money in this business. I mean, in the end, I went out with negative, or I didn't get the money back I paid into. So there was a little loss. This was totally fine. I mean, each course you are booking is more expensive or was more expensive than what I did, for example. And I was surviving a couple of months. So I was thinking like, this is the best course I ever booked. And this money was really good invested because it was in my personal growth. It was in my education. So I think my mindset to money not really changed. But of course, with my experiences now, I have to say that money is also opening like doors. If you are in the position that you have money, that you have budgets, then of course you can really achieve a lot of things. You have, for example, if you are looking for some advertisement or something, you have the money to do like advertisement. But in startup, the budget is probably less, so you have to be more creative. I mean, you can overcome this gap with creativity, I think, but at some point, money is really important to step forward. Basically, I really invest the money in education and in my businesses, but it's not the overall goal to like have a lot of money, because that is not the thing what makes me happy. But as founders, it's also really important to think on what it is when we are in the retirement. So this is something which we should not ignore when we are like getting older and older as well.
Yeah, and that's what we also do a lot. Like I work for a regional development bank and we consult founders, and we always try and implement that mindset of what about later, right? And please include that in your financial planning, that you need to put money aside, do investments, or kind of like save for your retirement. So to everyone who's listening, please never forget that. There might be a time in the first 1, 2, 3 years where you might not be able to invest a lot or save a lot, but you have to start and then increase the amount over time so that it lasts for later. So please don't forget it. And in your business or as a team, like what kind of investments decision do you make? Where do you save? Where do you invest?
We have some budgets, of course. So we just closed our financing round a couple of months ago. We have fresh millions. So this is also kind of change for me. I mean, I never had a lot of money to control in my bank account, and now you have such big numbers and you have to deal with them. And that seems that you have a lot of money, but this money runs out very fast if you are not being careful. But on the other hand, it's also good to do not have the fear to spend the money. This is because this is also kind of hard. You planned that you have several budgets. For example, we have a really big budget for technology and you do not have, it's better to do not have the fear to spend the money. So, for example, if you have planned to spend 500,000 for technology, then just spend it. So this is also something we have learned in this short couple of period, to not have fear from the big numbers. But we are not, or we, our biggest part or our biggest budget, I think, is like the technology budget. So we are really investing in like scaling our process. We are really investing in building our production, and we are really investing in also implementing our production facilities. So, for example, we are moving also to another hall in the next year. So we will also getting bigger and bigger also from the square meter size. So that is something we are really investing. I cannot really tell you at which point we are saving money, because for the moment it feels like a luxury position. We have money for so many things. I mean, imagine before starting the GmbH, we were like a Access Gründerstipendium. So you just had this money for 1 year. I think it was 30,000 euros, and this is a big money. I do not want to say that this is less, but or this is not enough, but now we have millions. So this is a kind of difference. At the moment, it's not feeling like that we are really saving money at some point. But of course, we are really responsible with the money, and we have a good plan. And I think this is the most important, to have the plan, but also to adjust the plan if it's needed.
Yeah, to those of you listening from the African context, since you don't know or you might not have heard of Exist, so it's a scholarship that can be provided from, like, when you're still in academia or when you've just left university and you are founding together as a team. You can apply for a scholarship that will pay you a monthly amount to cover your living costs, even though it's not a lot, so it might not be even lasting for everyone, but it's at least a bursary that you don't have to pay it back, right? You're like, it's
Yeah,
covered.
you don't have
Yeah.
to pay.
Yeah. And then the investment of 30,000, which you can then make decisions about what your business needs. So people can apply for that, but only at a certain point in time, while just leaving university or still being connected to the university, at least, because you also need a lecturer, or not lecturer, but kind of a professor to be linked to your team, I guess. So just a quick background explanation on that topic. And so you just said that you took investment on. Is there anything about your experience in fundraising that you would like to share? Like, how was it for you? How long did it take? Because I think a lot of founders also underestimate the time it actually takes to raise such amounts. Or was it quick for you?
For us it was the same situation. We underestimated the time. We had a couple of investors who also reached out to us, last year in autumn. Now we have summer, so 9 months before, and we said to them, okay, let's talk in January, because we thought, okay, 3 to 4 months, probably 5 months would be like the time frame. But no, it wasn't. It took us, I think, 6 months to get to the point where we did the investment, 6 to 7 months, also, I think. And for us, the main thing, or I think what is one of the success points, or our positive points, is that we were very well prepared. So we did really intensive research. So we just communicated data when we were sure that this is the number we can communicate, because we have evidence that this is the right number. So we didn't make a lot of assumptions. I mean, of course, as a startup, you have to make assumptions, that's for sure. But when we had the chance to replace the assumptions with real numbers and data, we did. And this took also a lot of time and effort. But in the end, I think it paid off, because the investors, they saw when we presented our wheat deck, they saw a really good wheat deck with a lot of numbers, but they were like really good research. So I think this was one of a really good point from our side, that we made a good preparation.
And you prepared all the files and stuff in with details, with numbers, and I guess it's like your own kind of preparation work that went into making the due diligence a bit easier, or like what type of expectations were also there from the investor side? Because I kind of hear that you didn't really have to search intensely for who wants to invest, but rather like kind of structure who like who should we talk to at which point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we met a lot of investors at some events, and we already knew each other. So we had a list. Of course, we contacted also more investors, which we didn't know to that point. But our experience is that most people, when we reached out to them and they didn't know you before, or they do not know you before, then we didn't got such a good response growth. So people are more willing to invest in us if they have met us in person or if we have already talked before. So that is our experience. And we met some investors at some events before, so we had our list already. But for us, it was more important to also have like a really good plan. So we planned different scenarios, different like numbers and cases, and this took a lot of time actually. But for us, we prepared a wheat deck with around, I think, 50 slides, and there were really detailed informations about um, our technology, of course, our market, our customers so far, a lot of things that or a lot of information that we provided our investors, but also they wanted, of course, different or other documents. So they also wanted to have like our financial plan, of course, that is something every team has to deliver, I think. Also at some point, probably a business plan. We didn't really needed it till the end, but yeah, we just worked with our wheat deck. But as we have a chemical process or technology, they also wanted to see, of course, like the technology behind it. So we had also to deliver some Excel sheets, very calculated, some chemical stuff. So this was also something they were looking for. And this was, I think, the most challenging point for us because therefore, if you are like thinking on scaling up a chemical process, therefore, at some point you have to make assumptions because we really do not know. I mean, we talk to a lot of experts and we also try to get a feeling for the numbers, but in the end, you do not know whether this is like a really realistic plan in the end, right? Also, if you are planning for the next 4 years, this is really hard to have a plan like what it will be or how it looks like in 4 years. Um, Actually, this is something which will be decided in the next couple of 1 or 2 years. So yeah, but for us, it was really the preparation who helped us.
Yeah, that's not learning number one. And I think the other learning that I can hear from what you're saying is that it's all about the team at the end of the day and whether people trust you enough to say that we believe that these three, right, with of course the team members that are jumping on board, they can do it. They can prepare enough. They can make realistic assumptions that are closely to what they know. And then the market will, I guess, show what comes out and how much more money can be generated
Yeah,
with the investments that they're making, because that's the interest of most investors to jump on board. Thank you so much for sharing that.
yeah.
Let's talk about your support network, and let's thank your supporters who opened doors for you that you were not able to open yourself.
I think if I will thank everyone, we are sitting here in the next couple of hours because we had so many people who guide us through our way, who supported us. Of course, as mentioned, our technology was built as at a university. The first point of contact for my two co-founders was Succeed, which is the startup network from the university. So they provided Marlene and Sophie, or Marlene especially, with more information on entrepreneurship. So we, of course, have to thank them. Also, they founded the initiative Foundress, which is a program especially for female founders. This was the organization where we met in the end, Marlene and me. They organized an event and we met through this. So of course we also have to thank them, but also all the coaches on our way. We had so many coaches and mentors who helped us, who worked with us, who gave us some inspiration. So the list is very, very long for the people who helped us and who opened doors to us. And I can share one story. We had the situation. I was in Vietnam to talk to customers for Sunyo, and there was a woman, and she reached out to me via LinkedIn, and she said, "Hey, I'm interested, and I want to know more, and how I could actually, or how I can support you." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I mean, there's no one who just want to support you. There is something wrong with this person. What is the interest behind it? I mean, who has time to just support other people?" And but anyway, we met when I was back from Vietnam, and now she's one of our she's one really big or she helped us to achieve a lot. She's like a mentor, and I'm talking to her every month, and she really is a door opener. She's like a really heartful person, and she really do this like for no money and just to like support us. So in the end, it turned out that yes, she really just wanted to support us, and that's what she is doing still. I also want to thank Juliane Elsner, it's her name. I also want to thank her because she's a really great person, and she's also like doing a lot for the startup ecosystem. And this is a really good example on how people are helping us on our vision and mission to our way. So we
Yeah.
also had other people who reached out to us and also helped us now.
We need
Sorry, I
more people
interrupted
like
you.
her. No, we
Yeah,
need more people like her. I think that's
yeah,
just what this story shows. So please just reach out to teams. You'll never know how much impact you can make. I mean, not everyone is in the position to do so, but if you can, then just be helpful, and you will be part of that journey in a way, right? You're not doing the actual work, but you are in the background supporting and helping founders. So literally how you found the person, she reached out to you because she heard of you, she met you at an event, or she, like, what happened there?
yeah. She reached out to us via LinkedIn. So that was the first point of contact. I think she saw probably one of our postings at Sunyo, and then she reached out to me. But also, I'm sorry, but I also want to mention here ChemStars, for example, or Chemie Cluster Bayern. So we have a really long list of supporters, but these two organizations and also Weinberg Campus in Halle, they are, just great. And you find a lot of passionate people there who really want to help you. I think the startup network is really big.
That's great. And like literally it's also part of researching and trying to kind of find those contact points and just make use of what is provided in your area where you stay, where people support the startup ecosystem. And yeah, that's something that we all need in order to actually kind of have a backup in case we don't know how to answer a specific question, or if we need expertise to come,
Yeah.
and yeah.
I also just want to share that we got also other requests for like coachings or something. Like people reached out to us and said, "Hey, I just want to coach you also for free." But at some point, you as a founder with your startup also have to like take a step back and just reflect whether it is really necessary at this point. Because sometimes it's also overwhelming. You are like really taking every help you can, but at some point it's too much. So don't take help if you don't need it, because you really have to focus on the challenges you have. And for example, we got people who reached out, "Hey, we can help you with this and this topic." But this topic at this moment was not important for me. I had another focus. So I was really thankful for the request. But in the end, I was dealing with other problems. So I just said, "I'm sorry, but for the moment, I'm focusing on other topics." So I think it's also really important to not like be guided through all the other persons, but find your own way and um, work on your own focus topics in that time.
That's a really wise decision, because at the end of the day, it's part of also starting to really trust in yourself as a founder, and for knowing that you've covered quite a few topics already. Looking back, you've solved quite a few challenges already, where people might not see that, because they're not so much in the actual work that you're doing, because they don't know you, but also like be appreciative of what people do provide. And we've also had, on this previous episodes that are recorded, there was a point of, from who do you accept kind of like feedback and advice, and where
Yeah,
it might not be as helpful as maybe that people think it is. So that's
yeah,
also one of the
yeah. That's also situations we have experienced. Yeah.
yeah. And what is it that you appreciate about entrepreneurship support, specifically targeting female founders?
Um, we got, for example, also the Women Exist. This is like also a funding for 3 months, and you can use it, for example, when you're applying for the next Exist stipendium, the next Exist grant.
Scholarship.
Scholarship, thank you. And this was also very good that we received it. But also, I'm now in the network. So, for example, in June, I was on the Access Women Days in Berlin, and I had the honor to talk there to other female founders to be, and I gave their insights into our story, into Sunyo and everything. So I really like the inspiration, and I really like the empowerment. I have the feeling that if you are attending female founders events, then people are more willing to support each other. So I have the feeling that the atmosphere is like a bit another atmosphere than if you are attending just a founders meetup or whatever. So this is something I really value, to create this kind of safe room, and that all the female people I have met so far, that they are also supportive and empower other female people or other females to achieve the same what they have probably achieved. So I really like it.
And when did you last empower someone else? What did you do?
I'm also a mentor for other female founders. So I have a new mentee at the moment. Our first meeting is tomorrow, so I do not know her uh, today, but tomorrow I get more details. I'm really looking forward to this, but I think this is really important, if you have the time and energy, that you are also, as a role model, give something back or just be present for other people. I mean, this is learning is also like, she will probably learn something from me, but I will also learn some things from her. So I think it's always like a payback in the end. But I'm really looking forward for this, and I think I empowered the last time other female founders at the Exist Women Tage in Berlin when I gave my speech. I think, or I hope, in the end, this was valuable and useful for other people.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. Let's share some more advice. Let's talk a bit about the business advice we can, create for other listeners, for female founders out there. Is there one piece of advice that you can share with someone who's planning to start on their entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, I can definitely say that it's worth just starting. Um, I mean, you have to be the type of person who really like to take risks, who is really open, who really wants to challenge him or herself. Um, but if you have an idea, and if you trust your idea and you want to develop it into a concept, if you probably also might have a team or you're looking for a team, then just trust your instincts or your feelings. If you have a good feeling and if you are having a really good concept, and I was at the same starting point when I started the first time, and my question was, why are doing all the other people things like that, and why shouldn't I not also do this? Why this is not also myself probably who is achieving some things? So for me it was like just starting. I know this is easier if you are starting, probably doing your studies or after your studies, because you do not really have like high living standard, and you are more willing to like live like a more basic life, for example, save some money in your private things to invest it in the company. This is what I did all the time. And now I think it's also a good decision when I look back, because now for me, it's no problem to make some personal, or to like limit me personally to invest in the company or something. For me, it's really easy because I never did it another way. So it's really just start if you are trusting your business idea or concept, and then really do your homework and really made a good concept. This is, I think, pretty much it.
Yeah, invest time into also preparing it, but then there has to be a point where you're kind of saying that let me do this and let me continue working on it, make time, especially if you are still in a main job and you're doing something on the side. I know it takes a lot of extra strength to kind of, venture into something new, but you'll only find it out if you try it. And I think that's a very great advice. I'm sharing it with those who are still planning to do so. And what would you like to say to those who are currently experiencing a more difficult time in their business?
We also just moved to Bitterfeld-Wolfen, to the chemical park, where we have now our production facility. And when I was building the rooms, I printed out a picture with the slogan, "Success is a byproduct of persistence." So this is probably the thing I would say, because as we all know, sometimes or most of the time it pays out if you are just sticking to it. So just like don't give up. There are hard times, but we as founders, we always have to deal with problems. We always have to find solutions. So just to like also survive the situations when you have a lot of uncertainty, also survive the situations where you might have bigger challenges to deal with, but just keep on going. I think this is the most important, to just find other solutions. Also, that you are really solution orientated. This sometimes I think we as persons forget at this point, but it's very important. If we have the challenges, came up with more than one or two solutions to solve it, then try the first two solutions, and if it doesn't work, then just try the another solution. So always think in like solutions, and I think in the end this will be a way to succeed.
Great. There will be a way to succeed, most definitely. And if it doesn't work out, then you tried it and you know that you've learned such a lot in the process, and you can apply it maybe to a next business that is coming up, that's still waiting for you to be, to try it out. We are now at the end of the session, and I have prepared 5 quick questions to end off this founder story. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Awesome. So the first question is, what tool is critical for your business to function?
Is this tool mean like a software, or is it something?
You could take a digital tool. You could also take something that's more analog.
Okay. For us, it is of course the technology we are using. So this is the more crucial thing, or the most crucial thing. But in terms, I do not take, or in terms, I'm not thinking on like the physically tools. Then I would say also like the people in our company are the most crucial thing, because in the end they are producing our chemicals as well.
Awesome. You set up a business dinner. Who would sit at your table?
That's also a tough question, but I have read this super cool book. I'm not sure whether you know it. It's like Think and Grow Rich for Women, and it's from Sharon Lechner. And this was really giving you a lot of insights and also inspiring quotes from other female founders. So probably I would invent her, because she was writing the book, and also some other female founders who are mentioned in the book, because they really also gave some good experiences and quotes. So this would be the business dinner.
Nice. Female only. What does
Yeah.
success what does success mean to you, and what are you doing to achieve it?
Oh, for me, success is that in the end of the day, I'm a happy person. So this is for me the definition of success, that in the end I'm happy and I know that I have a good life from my definition. So I'm achieving it by doing what I love, doing what I like, doing what gives me energy. Of course, as a founder, I want to be honest, I have a lot of tasks who are like not really making me happy, but in the end of the day, your vision and what you are doing has to make you happy, because if not, then probably you started the wrong business or you're doing the wrong job. So this is the definition for me, that I'm being happy, and in the best case, I'm also making other people happy.
It's amazing. And if you had unlimited money in your bank account, which kind of, I mean, you don't have unlimited, but just think about really unlimited for a week, how would you invest it?
I would research where some decision or big decisions makers are, or which events they are attending, and I would definitely go to these events, meet these people, like make contacts with big decision makers, for example, the chemical industry, to talk to them, to after this week came up with the contacts and try to contact them again. And I think probably the network stays longer than the money ever would.
And finally, what do you love most about entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I really like that, or the feeling that with my strengths and with all my experiences, I can contribute to something bigger. So this is the thing I really love on entrepreneurship, that I'm not a chemist at all, but now I can contribute to such a great technology with my experiences, with my like business background, and I really love that I can do different kind of jobs, but always being in the same role. For example, all the other businesses I started, they were not in the chemistry file. They were totally different topics, and now I'm at this point now, and I'm like in the chemical pilot now, and I really love to learn something new, have new challenges. So that is the thing I love the most. So I have the same role, but always in different environments so far. And this is just the best feeling on earth.
That's great. Thank you so much, Michéle, for being here today on the episode. And now you have the chance to also direct people to maybe what they should actually reach out, like where they should reach out, where they can find out more about the work that you do. If you want to direct them somewhere, where should they look?
Yeah, sure. If you are looking for someone to exchange ideas, or if you're also in the chemical industry and dealing with probably the same problems as I do, then please reach out. I'm happy. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can just write me or connect to me, and I would be also happy to have like exchanges with other female founders or founders in general. So really looking forward, and always contact me just in LinkedIn.
And those of you who are still thinking about what great events to attend, the Entrepreneurship Summit is coming up again in October in Berlin, which is quite a nice event to get in touch with great people like Michéle or other people who are working endlessly on making products, creating solutions that we need today or tomorrow. So thank you, ladies and gents, to for today and for listening and giving us your time. And thank you so much, Michéle, for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Mareike, for this wonderful podcast, for the opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to all the other episodes as well.
So remember that life is a story worth sharing. Continue to share yours with the world. And a big shout out to all those of us who follow the entrepreneurial journey. We need your valuable solutions to solve problems we are facing today and tomorrow. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode. Feel free to leave a comment and follow our social media channels that you'll find in the description. Keep well.